found one of the best ways to make money. They knew The Simpsons was coming out and decided to get a license for them since they were popular and made a game. The plot is that aliens are trying to make it so everybody in the world is their slaves and they hit Springfield. Well, actually, they're space mutants, but the object is to collect purple-colored objects because that's the ingredient they use in order to build this machine. Not that they mention what it is. The graphics are a little bit cheesy, but hey, it's fine. Some are good. Now, it may seem simple just to paint them, but others are a lot more harder than that. And it may seem completely impossible to do this, but it's actually possible, to be honest with you. You can miss one purple-colored object, but you have to make all the other ones. Just in case you wanted to know that. Take here for an example. It may seem like just any other joke that they put in a game to make the game seem funny, and don't get me wrong, it is. But that's not what it's for. It's for the guy right there, painting an innocent pedestrian. Now look at the police officer. I just painted his suit and got away with it. Now look here. You need one of those bombs and 5 of those rockets. That's how many you need. Just telling you in case. I'm not gonna tell you where they're for or where they go. Actually, what the heck? I'll tell you where the rockets go. One goes for the bird on the Jebediah Springfield head. And that's really annoying right there. We have to watch for him to talk. That's annoying. You need one for the retirement home. You need one for the light. And then just use the rest for the windows for the retirement. I've been trying to figure out how to get up there. I haven't been successful in doing that, and I just completed everything. I just collected one of those to spell Maggie. Now look at the bottom where it says Maggie. When you collect all those, she helps you with the bad guy, which is the guy with the one arm. Now, when you press select, it goes to the menu screen, and you press start, or you press the start button to use these actions. Now look where it says pause. In order to press pause, you have to go through the menu screen and get the option to press it. And that's really annoying. Now jump and run are the same button, which really messes you up. Now look there. That's fine, I made that. Now look at this. That happens to miss. Now I have to go back to the stores, get more M's and A's, so I can spell Maggie. And then when I collect them, she helps me out the bad guy. That's good. Now does she really help you at the end? No. And notice it's that guy with the one arm. Either that or it's Nelson, I don't know. But isn't he in Bart the General, he helps him. So why is he an enemy now? I don't really understand, but I guess it's fine. He ends up being an enemy with Homer in a newer episode. Now look here. Now Bart has to collect hats because they switched to hats. That's fine, but he has to collect 25 of them to advance for them to give up. And that's fine too, because there's only 25 hats in the world. Those things are a pain, especially when you're not good with the controls. But I master the controls. Now look at the lollipops. When they're facing horizontal or diagonally, you can land on them, but not vertically. Otherwise you'll die. They look easy to land on, but they're definitely not. They're hard to land on. Wicked hard. So keep in mind of those. Now look at the bad guy. Really simple. And look at the background music. They stole that from part of the Simpsons song. So there's not really a selection of music in this game. Now this may look easy, but I actually had trouble with it. You just land on his head. And then you get another letter, which is A. Now notice when the screen moves, Bart can't move left or right, but he can jump. Now this I like doing. It's rather difficult. In the speedrun, he didn't do that. There's an example of landing on his head and not quite getting anything. Now, over here, sometimes you get a Jebediah Springfield head. That can be really useful for jumping over the rings, because those things are a pain to get over. Although I can do it, you know, because I'm good. this bad guy takes the cake. He's just like the other one, only he disappears and appears in other places. He keeps appearing in the same spot, though. Now notice the background music. Yeah, sound familiar? It sounds just like Bart's death sound. Now over in this part, you verse another bad guy that doesn't look very familiar. I believe it's the Babysitter Bandit, but although I'm not that positive. Now Marge is just a waste of room. All she does is make the things disappear. However, unless this is too quick for you, there's no point of getting the letters for her. So I would just ignore her, pretty much. Just don't bother getting her. I believe the whole point of that all is to save everybody in the family, but it doesn't really matter. Now here oh my god, it just swore. First time I've ever heard a game curse like that before. Now in this level, they switched to balloons. It's easy to collect balloons here. Now there's a lot of mini games here. Quite a few of them actually. 4 to be exact. I just collect balloons by playing this one minigame right here. It's pretty easy. It makes the level completely easy. That's why it's good not to lose your money and good to collect them. This is where it comes good. Now here, you have this little minigame where you gotta close all the doors. I have no idea how to do it. It may look like lights out, but it's not. It's a lot harder than it looks. Now I hate it that guys can interfere with the game like that. And when you win something, you pretty much just gain some money and collect your prize. Now I get my prize. Now climbing up here is pretty much useless. Unless of course you need some money. Or you can't get past the level and you need the Jebediah Springfield head. But otherwise, don't bother doing that. You end up wasting more lives than you need, unless you're good at it, of course. Now, this level's actually not bad. Not much to do, but it's pretty fun. Quite difficult, too. I think this is the best level of the game. Okay, now, the Ferris wheel is difficult. It's hard to land on it perfect. You end up falling and dying. If you manage to pass the Ferris wheel, you'll end up getting to the bad guy that you won't expect who it is. Take a guess. Yes, it's Sideshow Bob. Now Lisa is pretty useless, and it's really hard to collect her name in this level, because half of the aliens are not actually aliens. And it's making fun of the episode Krusty gets busted. You step on his feet, and you gotta avoid him stepping on you. And keep in mind, they are space mutants, not aliens. And now in this level, they switch to exit signs. You know, because they have a lot of them in this level. That must mean they're very secure when it comes to fires. But why would they collect those? Now look at the graphics. Beautiful. Oh my god, those monkeys. I hate those monkeys. They're really hard to get past. If you're good, you can jump over them, but just use the gun. By the way, that gun goes whenever it feels like. It shoots. Then you have these alligators. You have very little space to jump on them. And plus, those, whatever they are hard to avoid. Now this part, all you do is jump on the ground and jump on their head. That's how you bypass not being able to hit the Venus flytraps twice. Now here is pretty simple. You just go under this laser. And now here I go. Whoa, what the heck just happened? Well, guess what? You can only land on the red tiles. That seems pretty simple, and is not a bad idea. But how are you supposed to know that when you play? You end up wasting lives. You think it looks like ground. Now this, I was always stuck on. I didn't know what to do. I always killed myself over until I found out that you gotta go under the guy's armpit and get the key. I didn't know that. And that's fine. Now this part, it's kinda hard to land on the piece of wood. You have to have perfect aiming, and then rocks start falling like an avalanche. Now you remember how I mentioned that the screen scrolls and you can't move? Well, there's a little vine that comes, and because I can't move, I got hit by it. Now this guy, I don't know why they put this guy in the game. It's too easy. Now, this is the hardest part of the entire game. It's really hard to jump on that. Well, guess what? There's a platform right there allowing you to jump to that platform. Now on the next part, whoa, did I just do a double jump? Now this is a nightmare. This will drive you absolutely insane. Good luck. And good luck too, because the bird is really hard to get past. Now the dinosaur is the biggest enemy of the entire game because it's huge. Now I couldn't figure out how to do it. I thought you had to shoot him. Oh, and not to mention that the dinosaur doesn't really do anything except shoot. They should have did something better with it. Well, but want to know how to do this? Invisible platform time. Now look how ugly that looks in the background. Bart looks huge. Now, jumping on his head is not easy as it looks. But that's all you do. Not always are you successful. Not because you fall to the ground, but because of exploits like these. However, that rarely happens, but it really stinks when that happens. And you can easily die when you're on that platform, because you get hit. Now here, you're versing Dr. Martin Monroe. And all he does is throw electrical things, and Homer pretty much just lurks. So don't bother getting him. Now you're onto rods in the nuclear power plant. That makes sense. And the graphics are a little bit good. Not incredibly good, but not bad either. But it's really hard. There's 5 floors, and there's also doors that you go in that have certain combinations that Lisa tells you. But I just guess it's a lot easier. Easier than remembering. Now they're hidden out throughout the level. But it's not as easy as it looks. There's many obstacles you have to go through in order to successfully get them without getting hit. Now these elevators are good. They bring you to floors, but not every elevator brings you to the same floor. One brings you to floor 3 and 5. And that's really stupid. Why would the developers of the elevator do that? I mean, the owner of the elevators were probably thinking, let's do floor 3 and skip floor 4. I mean, what the heck? And these doors, they're really annoying. I mean, it's not a bad idea, even though it's just like an elevator. They might as well have just did that instead of making them doors, because those things are terrible to go through. The controls are bad. I'll show you how they're bad. Okay, come on, let's go to floor 5. Let's go to floor 5. Nothing there. Actually, no, I'll get the donut. Come on, floor 4. Come on, go in the elevator. Or the door, actually. Sorry, it should be an elevator. Come on. Yes. 3. 2. Come on, floor 1. Finally. Now, generally speaking, they shouldn't have added this level in the first place. It's really a pain. But my question is, why did they make it so Bart has to collect the objects? Why not just destroy the machine they showed at the beginning? Then they can't do their plan. And then, why did they make the objects what they were? The Space Mutants should have did something easy to get. Something that's renewable. That would have been a better idea. Although, it's not a bad idea for a game. Now, if criminals were trying to flee the country, I wouldn't go around and collect gasoline tanks around the US in every gas station.